Hey guys, this is Squidbear. Welcome to another Squidbear video. I have not made a proper video like this in a long time and busy doing shorts.
Like these ones!
I just want to talk to him.
Why do you have a shotgun?
But I recently saw No Way Home last night. And I'm just gonna straight out say that every country who has done art form has this sort of thing. Japan, Britain, and US. Why? With Japan, they've done Yu-Gi-Oh! With all three of the original generations coming together, and with Britain, with Doctor Who, they had basically the 10th Doctor, the 11th Doctor, and also the War Doctor coming together. And now we come to No Way Home, where the first generation with Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland all come together. And I with the MCU and with, Spider-Man a whole, it's just that, especially with Disney, how, horrible they've been and how my feelings have been about them. Kind of why you don't see any Spider-Man stuff in my background, because I grew kind of resentment, and I take back throwing away all the Spider-Man stuff I did have. I genuinely do. Seriously. If this movie there was in the Civil War arc in the comics where Spider-Man made a deal with Mephisto and just erased everyone knowing his secret identity, all just for that, to keep the formula safe. That would have solidified that I would be completely done with Marvel forever, and done with the entire movies that they've done and the future ones. Mainly Sony, because I'm still done with Disney, no doubt. It ended with Endgame. But to know that they knew that, and they completely subverted that, and actually gave us a nice twist on that Peter will actually take responsibility, and that it's a good thing that nobody knows who he is, even his closest friends, even Doctor Strange will not know that he's Spider-Man, and that he's willing to give that up and start over again and take responsibility, and that is like, it's like, it is so refreshing. It is so good that there's actual consequences and stakes.
Are you serious?
I mean, seriously. It is so refreshing. And also, I know this is a little off track, but I'm just gonna say it anyway. It's, a similar character, Aang, had the similar way that he didn't want to kill the villain. But I feel like with this is a lot more fleshed out, because the villains themselves are fleshed out more than Ozai was. He was just a bad guy just to be bad. His story made no sense and was only made to at least fill the little things they did to make him an intimidating villain. That's the only thing they focused on. And Aang, for some reason, just because he was sticking to his pacifistic rules, even though we kind of broke him in the past, and that's what, with energy bending, he did that to be morally infallible. But with this Peter, he is shown that he can be morally fallible. That he legitimately was going to kill Green Goblin, Osborn, for killing Aunt May. And that's my point. Because I feel like with Aang and this Peter Parker, they're very similar. They both are given a title of luxury that they never thought they could ever have. But I feel like this Peter Parker actually did it right. What Aang should have been. What any hero should be. With great power comes great responsibility. And it's so great that Aunt May was the one who said that, and not Uncle Ben, to prove that this is not the same as the other Spider-Mans. This is its own thing. And with all the Spider-Men, I'm calling Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man Tobe Peter, and Andrew, Peter and just this Peter MCU Spider-Man. It's just that all three of them, kind of similarly to Into the Spider-Verse, even almost a little bit too much, but it's not rip-off, it's more inspiration, and that's really good, especially because this is made by the same Sony that they probably, definitely, even though Tim Feige still had his little hands in it to it, it's really nice to see the live-action Spider-Men that even though those, but you know what? This is a little better here. That these Spider-Men, unlike the characters in Into the Spider-Verse who just arrived in this story, these Spider-Men had that already movies already existing. It had already for us to know that. Instead, these new characters that we are introduced and we don't know their entire stories. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying this version has the upper hand a little bit. And also especially because especially when the Spider-Man come together, they do not know how to work together. But the MCU Spider-Man working with the Avengers. Wait, who are they? Yeah, yeah. Them. That he's been a part of a team that he would know how to lead a team, and that also comes in the MCU Peter's role as Spider-Man. And also it makes me mad that that Tom Hardy's Eddie Brock Venom knew more about the MCU than either Peter and Toby Peter. That just makes me mad. They had time in the MCU. They could have got info dumped. But maybe if if Toby and Andrew fans come together to get more them Peters in the MCU, then maybe that could happen. And I will still watch Spider-Man and Marvel pass, but I am done with Disney. I am done with them forever. And since Sony has Morbius, and if anything under Marvel or any Marvel under Sony or anything else except Disney, I will watch. I will continue to watch, especially Into the Spider-Verse 2. And you know what? I would want an Into the Spider-Verse, an MCU crossover. We've done Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Why can't we do it here? It's because it's still CJ animation. Animation's still for children. They are changing. We have Netflix Castlevania. We have so much more adult anime movies coming out. I know I'm getting a little sidetracked, but it's a proof of point. I would love if you don't really need to establish new Miles Morales in this MCU. You have already a Sony made and Miles, and you can just meet him with Peter Parker. Or you could, do like a CGI conversion to live action where the CGI Miles turns live action, and you can do that. Why not? It would be so cool. Okay. Well, that was my entire review of Spider-Man No Way Home, and I was very impressed and very glad and very excited that I was completely wrong and that it showed truly that. And I forgot one thing. And it's great that Peter now starts over and makes his own suit and also has to pay bills and has to live out his college life. And also that little symbiote is going to be there also to put Venom in there. Even though, why did you bring Tom Hardy even though he didn't even know, wait, oh yeah. Technically he did, so I guess he would have to get out, so, okay. Well, is there going to be a Eddie Brock in this universe? I don't know, probably. But, I hope you guys like this video, leave a comment below if you did, and remember, I'm just, I'm not gonna say may the force and the squid be with you. I'm just, I'll come up with something soon. Peace out, guys.
Squid Bear there is quite the YouTuber whiz. I'm something of a YouTuber myself.